What's up, gals and pals? It's your boy Vino, and welcome back to 60-Second Cocktails. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a long overdue collaboration between me and one of my favorite channels and two of my good friends, Carl and Riley, over at Alchemix Bar. So today we're going to be featuring one of my favorite cocktails to riff on, the last word. So make sure you stick around, because we're going to boogie down. The Last Word is a pre-prohibition cocktail that originates at the Detroit Athletic Club at or around 1915. The cocktail would soon become a widespread hit when it was introduced to the New York City cocktail scene by vaudeville performer Frank Fogerty. The drink remained quite popular for decades, even appearing in Ted Saussure's 1951 cocktail book, Bottoms Up. However, soon after its publication, the cocktail would fall into relative obscurity. That's until the early 2000s when bartender Murray Stenson, who was working at Seattle's Zigzag Cafe, rediscovered the recipe while reading Saussure's book. He soon added the cocktail to the cafe's menu, and well, the rest is history. Alright guys, so like I said, today me and my buddies over at Alchemix Bar are going to make you guys a few different riffs on The Last Word. Now if you've never had The Last Word before, I'm going to put the original specs down in the description for you guys to check it out. Now just keep in mind, if you've never had The Last Word before, it is a big, bold, in-your-face, your feelings type of cocktail, but it is so delicious. So if you like a little extra, hair on your chest and whatnot, I think you're gonna enjoy this cocktail a lot. And it's also one of my favorite cocktails to riff on. All right, now speaking of riffs, the first one that I'm gonna be making for you guys is called a Widow's Word, and this is usually one of my favorite spirits of all time. I think you guys guessed it by now. Yes, Calvados, all right? Now, the thing to keep in mind about last words and last word riffs is that they are all equal parts. Very easy to remember, right, folks? Now, let us look at what is in the sauce for this one, all right? The first thing we're gonna need is 3/4 ounce of apple brandy, and I'm going to be using Calvados, all right? You guys had to know that I was gonna be using making riffs with my favorite stuff, right? I mean, come on, you guys know Vino by now. The next thing we're gonna do is 3/4 ounce of yellow chartreuse, all right? Now, if you don't have yellow chartreuse and you wanna do something like Strega, you should go ahead and do that. It'll be very, very similar, all right? So the same thing with the apple brandy. If you don't have Calvados, you wanna use something like, American apple brandy or whatever, go ahead and do that. I'm blanking, Laird's Applejack, there you go. The next thing we're gonna need is 3/4 ounce of Benedictine, all right? So as you can see, you're gonna get some real nice flavors in this cocktail, some bold flavors, some spicy flavors. So it's definitely gonna make for an interesting cocktail, all right? And then we're gonna do 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, all right? And that'll help with, kind of balance out all the sweetness that we're getting here from all these different liqueurs. All right, so 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. And last but not least, we're gonna do 1 dash of Angostura bitters. There you go. And that'll add some nice aromas to the cocktail. All right, so now we're just gonna put some ice in our shaker. All right. And then we're gonna shake that up for about 10 to 15 seconds. All right, folks, I think we shook that bad boy up enough. I'm going to go ahead and grab my glass out, which has been chilling like a villain. I'm serving that in a coupe. And then we're going to just double strain that to get some any ice shards out. All right, that looks good. Looks like we got everything we can get out of this here shaker. The aroma on this one is absolutely delicious. And the beauty of, The Last Word and its riffs is there's really never any garnish. If you want to throw on some sort of peel or something like that, you feel free to, but we're not going to do that today, right, folks? And there we have it, our Widow's Word riff. All right, so let's go ahead and give this bad boy a quick sippy sip and see what it is all about. On the nose, as you get with most last words, is you get a lot of great aromas and flavors. Again, it's a bigger, bolder cocktail. Even though this is not as big as and bold as the original last word, still has a lot of flavor going on. Oh yeah, that is so delicious. You get a lot of herbalness there that you're getting from the Benedictine and the yellow chartreuse, and you're also getting some of those kind of honey sweet notes that you also pick up from that, and you also get from the Calvados. So it adds some nice honey notes in there. You get some apple notes in there, a little bit of pear in there as well. This is such a delicious riff on the last word. It's a little more mellow than the original specs, but absolutely fantastic. Anyway, let me hand it over to my buddy Carl over at Alchemix Bar. Carl, show me what you got.
All right, thanks Vino. So today I'm going to do one of my favorite riffs of the last word, the final ward. It's probably one of the more confusing names. People call it the final word or the last ward, but it is called the final ward, created by Phil Ward from Death & Co. It's kind of named the drink after himself, but hey, who cares? So again, it follows the same principle, 4 equal parts, but instead of gin and lime juice, we use rye and lemon juice. And today we're going to use Templeton Rye. We live in Iowa, we like supporting our Iowa distilleries, and we're using barrel strength. So it's going to be a little bit hotter at a nice 57.3 ABV. So I've never tried it like with this one, so we're going to give it a whirl. I'm feeling super bougie. So we're going to start chilling down my big coupe glass a little bit. All right, so we got 3/4 of lemon juice. Actually, we're going to do an ounce because I'm feeling spicy today. I gotta edit some videos, so why not enjoy a beverage? Ounce of Maraschino liqueur. I love doing shots of this stuff. It is so yummy. 1 ounce of our last of our green chartreuse here. And then 1 ounce of rye whiskey, again, Templeton Rye. It is pretty available throughout the United States. If you can find the 4 or 6 year, definitely give that a try. We still got our glass chilling like a villain. Add some ice and give it a good shake for 10 to 12 seconds. All right, ice out. We're going double strain. We don't want little ice shard chippies in our cocktail. We've got a fat wash line on this one. All right, and there you have the final ward. Wow. With that big punchier rye, you definitely kind of have a little heat in this cocktail, but it's actually still really well balanced. You get the chartreuse, the Luxardo is a little tamer in it, and then it's just super well balanced with the lemon. Give it a try. Vino, what else you got for us?
All right, Carl, thank you so much for sharing with my audience that delicious looking last word riff. I know what I'm gonna be making this weekend, all right, guy? Anyway, so let's go ahead and make my second last word riff, and this one is called a Final Voyage. And this is another one that is usually one of my absolute favorite spirits, one of my favorite bottles, and this is Smith & Cross. Oh, I can't get enough of this stuff. This is my favorite rum on the market. If you don't have it, guys, go ahead and pick it up. Now let's look at what is in the sauce. We're gonna need 3/4 an ounce of Smith & Cross, all right? Oh God, this stuff is just so good. I just love the smell of it. It's so strong. It's got such banana funk going on. It's so good. Now we're gonna need 3/4 an ounce of green chartreuse, all right? Now green chartreuse is what you'd find in the original last word riff. And this is going to be a lot more bolder and more herbal than the yellow chartreuse. So, you know, we're adding 2 big boys here, you know. And next thing we're going to need is 3/4 an ounce of apricot liqueur. So the apricot liqueur is going to mellow things out a bit, all right? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm using Luxardo apricot liqueur, which I think is the bee's knees, my friends. And then we're going to end it all with 3/4 an ounce of lime juice, all right? And this is also in the original last word specs as opposed to lemon juice, which we used in the last version. All right, beautiful. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and just add some ice to our shaker. And then we're going to shake that up for about, you know the deal, boys and girls, 10 to 15 seconds. All right, folks, I think we shook this bad boy up enough. I'm gonna go ahead and get my glass out, which has been chilling like a villain. I'm gonna be serving that in a Nick and Nora. I'm gonna double strain it. Ooh, yeah, the nose on this one can be smelled from miles away. I can smell it from here and it smells amazing. All right, there we go. Look at that beautiful wash line. That would make my buddy Stefan Foisy very, very excited. He loves a good wash line. All right, so there we go, folks. Beautiful. And there we have it. No garnish, just cocktail. The final Voyage last word riff. Now, before I hand it over to Carl for the last word riff, I'm gonna go ahead and give this bad boy a sippy sip. Cheers. Oh man, that is so good. Look, this is very Smith and Cross forward. I mean, that's the first thing you taste, and that's a good thing. Trust me, because Smith and Cross is absolutely amazing. But you definitely get some of the urbaness from the green chartreuse. And on the very end of it, kind of riding out the cocktail is those apricot notes. It's got these beautiful kind of sweet notes on the very back end and stuff like that. This is a delicious riff on the last word, right, folks? Listen, both of these are fantastic. I think you guys will absolutely enjoy them, and I'm sure that my buddy Carl is going to end this with a banger. Carl, the floor is yours.
All right, I'm super excited for this sport. What?
Nope.
What? God, no. Oh. Ugh.
I get the last word on this one. And my last word variation subs out Mezcal for gin. And that's the only difference. It's called the last of the Oaxacans. So let me roll up my sleeves and let's make this really quick. Should have started with lime juice, but I don't care. I'm just going down the road. So just like the last word, all of the ingredients are 3/4 of an ounce, shaken and double strained. We're gonna have to send out an SOS for more chartreuse. We're almost out. And last but not least, lime juice. Slice into our big tin. And give it a good shake. Who says that? Steve the bartender. Get all my junk out of the way. Okay. All right, so let's give this a try. That is a beautifully balanced cocktail. I do enjoy the roasty and smoky flavors that the Mezcal lends to all of the ingredients. Kind of gives it a little bit more punch, but not overly aggressive. Yeah, this is my favorite. Enjoy.
All right, but there you have it, folks. 4 delicious last word riffs. And how fitting is it that a beautiful, smart, strong gal like Riley has the last word? I mean, she set me and Carl straight. Sorry, Riley. Anyway, folks, listen, if you are not subscribed to Alchemix Bar, please go ahead and do that. I'll put a link down in the description. They've got a fantastic channel and they do a lot of great comparisons. I think you guys will absolutely enjoy them. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please make sure you do that as well. If you like this video, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. Remember, sharing is caring, and when life gives you lemons, make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.